On today's episode, the answer to all of your health and weight loss questions.
Welcome to the Calorie Conundrum Podcast with Coach Strick. Join us as we expand the weight loss conversation to beyond just calories and dare to ask the question, why does eating less and exercising more sometimes not produce the desired results? Here's Coach Strick to discuss this Calorie Conundrum.
Hello and welcome to the Calorie Conundrum Podcast. This is Coach Strick, and today I'm going to share with you the answer to all of your health and weight loss questions. Questions like, what diet should I follow? This is a big one and comes with many different opinions about what we should eat and what we should avoid. What should I do for exercise? Should I do CrossFit, Pilates, lift weights, run, practice yoga, or something else? How many calories should I consume? Should I eat 1,200 calories? Or should I eat less because I want to lose weight? How many steps a day should I get? And if I get my steps, do I need to work out? Should I do a detox? Should I take supplements? Should I meditate? Should I try fasting? Should I buy a peloton? How much water should I drink? How come when me and my friend go on a diet, they lose more weight than me? Why does it have to be so hard? Isn't there just a pill I could take? Man, when it comes to your health and weight loss, there are a lot of questions that arise. So let's go ahead and start tackling these questions one by one. What diet should I follow? Well, it depends. What should I do for exercise? That also depends. How many calories should I consume? Yeah, that also depends. How many steps should I get a day? Depends. Should I do a detox? Should I take supplements? Should I meditate? Should I try fasting? Or should I buy a peloton? It depends, it depends, it depends, it depends, and it depends. And with that said, this is Coach Strick saying thanks for listening. And remember, when calories in and calories out doesn't work, that, my friend, is a calorie conundrum. But seriously, it depends. It depends isn't as sexy as telling someone they must eat this diet, or they must do this type and amount of exercise, or that they have to count their calories if they want to see results. But it depends is always the correct answer. Well, if the correct answer to all your health and weight loss questions is it depends, then what does it depend on? I'm glad you asked. And for the remainder of this podcast, I'm going to discuss the three main areas that you want to consider when asking a health and weight loss related question. The first and most important consideration when asking a health and weight loss question is, what are your goals? This sounds like an obvious question, but this question is often either not considered at all or only given minimal attention. When the new year rolls around, many people have the goal of losing weight. But for most, wanting to lose weight is the extent of their goal clarification. Some questions about this goal that must be considered are, exactly how much weight do you want to lose? Why do you want to lose weight? Do you just want to lose weight, or do you want to lose fat, or both? Is there a timeline for your weight loss? Do you have any health issues that may affect your weight loss? Are you able to participate in exercise? What kind of exercise equipment or exercise facilities do you have access to? What financial resources do you have to support your goal? Do you have time to execute your plan? What is your current stress load? I hope you can see that when it comes to questions like, how do I lose weight? The short answer is always, it depends. The second thing you want to consider when asking a health and weight loss question is, what is your history? This includes your entire life's history, but to keep it simple for this example, we'll discuss your health and weight loss history. Looking back at that New Year's weight loss goal, some questions you may want to consider about your history are, how many times have you been on a diet? Has yo-yo dieting wrecked your metabolism? Have you seen success with dieting before? Have you taken any prescription drugs like antibiotics, corticosteroids, or birth control for extended periods or on a regular basis? Have you participated in exercise before? Have you ever been injured or incurred any type of surgery? The answers to all these questions can determine what changes must be made to a weight loss plan. And I hope you can see that by considering your health and weight loss history, the answer to the question, how do I lose weight, is still, it depends. The third thing you want to consider when asking a health and weight loss question is, what are your genetics? Oftentimes, genetics are used as an excuse for many to explain why they are overweight or why they have a certain disease. Although I'm not a fan of making excuses, genetics has an extremely important role when it comes to your health and weight loss. Did you know that grandchildren of Holocaust survivors are more likely to be overweight than grandchildren whose grandparents were not subjected to the horrors of Nazi concentration camps? And that overweight mothers are more likely to have overweight children? Yes, genetics matter, and some questions you may want to ask when determining how your genetics may affect your New Year's weight loss goal are: were my parents or grandparents overweight? What type of environment was your mother or grandmother in when she was pregnant? Am I willing to put in twice or even 3 times more effort than a person with better genetics? So I hope you can see that whether you were dealt a bad hand when it comes to your genetics, or you are one of the lucky ones, the answer to your health and weight loss questions is still, it depends. As you can see, the answer of it depends seems like a lazy cop-out to a health and weight loss question on the surface, but is really an answer that requires much consideration and thought to determine an adequate answer for your unique circumstances. Be wary of following any recommendations that don't consider you as an individual and fail to address at least some of the questions mentioned in this podcast. I hope this podcast has gotten you to think more critically about your health and weight loss and has given you insight into why some of your past attempts may have failed. Hopefully, with these new perspectives, you will be able to answer your health and weight loss questions more accurately. Will you see better results? Well, that depends. And with that said, this is Coach Strick saying thanks for listening, and remember, when calories in, calories out doesn't work, that, my friend, is a calorie conundrum.
This podcast, including Coach Strick and guests, disclaim responsibility for any possible adverse effects for the use of any information contained herein. Coach Strick and/or guests may recommend products or services in which they have a direct or indirect financial interest. To find out more, please visit www.calorieconundrum.com.